Hi, I'm Valerie Knowles from Knowles Produce, and I want to tell you about one of my current favorite foods. This is Delicata Squash. Looks like a beautiful fall decoration, which it certainly can be, but they are one of my most favorite things to eat right now. So it's a hard squash, but it's not super sweet. They are called delicata because of their delicate, thin skin. They are the only hard squash that I'm aware of that the skin is thin enough that you can eat. So I've currently been cooking it this way. I've been cutting it in half, scooping out the seeds, then cut it up real thinly in half moons. I put it on a baking dish with a little bit of oil, avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, any of those would work, and whatever seasonings that you like. I really have just been using salt and pepper lately. Roast it at 400 for probably about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how crispy you'd like them. And then they are just the best little roasted squash side dish thing that you could look for right now. Now you want them to get a little bit dark on the bottom, but not so dark that they're super crunchy. So, gauge your time, check them. Everybody's oven's a little different. Like I said, 20 to 30 minutes. They're so good. You can also cut them in half, scoop out the seeds, stuff them with sausage, breadcrumbs, cheese, that kind of thing. They're a good size, so it's a good single serve kind of thing. Some of them are a little bit bigger, but for the most part, they're relatively small. And they're not super sweet, but you can sweeten them up. If you wanted to do make them sweet, you could do brown sugar, cinnamon, a little bit of salt and butter, roast them like that. In a baking dish, a little bit of water, cover them for probably about maybe more like 45 minutes at 350. So good. Now, because of that thin skin that they have, these don't have as long of a shelf life as most other hard squash. So when you find them, buy them and use them relatively quickly. And that relative is it's all relative, right? Hard squash, oftentimes you can keep it on your counter for, 6 months or so. These guys you probably want to use up in a month or so, maybe 6 weeks, but you want to use them up in a month because they will get some bad spots on them. And they're not all that easy to find. So if you are one of my friends out there watching this someplace other than Northern Virginia, if you go into your supermarket, your farmer's market, wherever you buy your local produce, if you see these guys, and they might be displayed with the ornamentals, with the decorations, rather than with the edibles, but they are edible. If you see them, grab them up, because they are not all that easy to find. I hope you are now ready to try them. They are, like I said, they are one of my current favorites. Good luck, and I will talk to you soon. Hey, and you know what? Like this if you have cooked with delicata before, just so I can kind of get a gauge for if you're familiar with it or not. That will be a big help to me. Thanks, and I will see you next time. Bye.